So ever since the Mavic Pro came out, I've always wanted a drone. I've come very close to buying it while I'm here in Hong Kong, but the only thing stopping me is the weight and the size of it. It's tiny, I know that, but I have a very, very limited amount of space. A lot of times I'm traveling with my backpack and that's it, and that includes clothing and everyday things. And I'm trying to split into two bags now, but we'll see what happens. But in saying that, there could still be a chance that I'll go for the Mavic Pro instead. But a couple of days ago, the DJI Spark was released, and I've been watching videos of it, and it's very appealing because the size is just so small, and it weighs, I think, less than half of the Maverick, and that's a big thing because with the Maverick it's 700 grams, I think. Once you account for 2 extra batteries, it's actually quite a decent sized kit. With the Spark, everything is smaller, so even if you do have 2 extra batteries, it's a lot more compact and it's a lot less weight to carry around. If I was at home and I'm not traveling the way I am now, I would definitely go for the Mavic Pro, just because of the better image quality and the better specs of the drone. Like, you can fly a lot faster, you can go a lot further. But for the way I'm traveling now, I want to keep my kit as small as possible. So I've contacted DJI here in Hong Kong. They actually have a flagship store in Causeway Bay, and they told me to go in and check it out. If I wanted to pre-order it, I can do it there, after playing with it and comparing it with the Maverick maybe. The only issue is the release date is June 15th. I'm flying out to London on June 17th. That doesn't give me a lot of leeway to, in case anything's delayed or there's any issues. And once I'm out of here, it's gonna be a massive hassle to try and get it shipped from here to London and deal with all that things. It would just be cool to do a comparison just to see if my concern about the Maverick is actually justified, and if not, maybe I'll just buy a Maverick today. So I'm gonna have the afternoon free today. I need to do a bit of recce at Grand Hyatt because I'm shooting them next week, and after that I'm gonna go to DJI Causeway Bay and check it out. This thing is tiny. It's a lot smaller than the Maverick by a huge margin, but it doesn't fold up as I wish the legs actually fold up, but it doesn't. So in terms of putting this in a bag, it's about the same size as a Maverick, but once it's folded out, obviously it's a lot smaller. Very tempting. So I really like the Spark. It's a great product. It's well designed. It feels nice in your hands, and I didn't get to fly it myself because the demo area is only for staff. But seeing it fly indoor with such ease, it was great. The whole lift off and landing on your palm, that's great. Not having to find space. With the Maverick, you might have to find an open space where it's nice and clear. But in saying that, I also played with the Maverick and held it in my hand, and as soon as I saw it, it's such a well-engineered product. It's so elegantly designed, and that gets me. If the Spark arm could be folded down, for me it's almost a no-brainer to go with the Spark, because in that case it's so portable that it neglects any loss in image quality for me. But in saying that, as it stands right now, the Spark and the Maverick, when you fold up the Maverick, it doesn't take up that much more space. The Spark is actually very awkward to pack into a backpack because you've got all these arms sticking out and wasted areas in between them. And also, I don't know where I've heard this, but I remember hearing this a long time ago when I first got into photography. Always buy your second camera. Instead of getting the most basic entry-level camera, you go for the next one up. Usually the entry-level cameras, this applies to any hobby. The entry-level things are always very limited. You don't get the best bang for your buck. And it's like wine, you order the second cheapest one when you don't know what you're talking about. And it's the same with camera, you get the second cheapest model because that's usually the best bang for your buck. You get the most feature with the least amount of cost. And when you first get into a hobby, having entry-level cameras is actually quite limiting because of the settings and you don't get as much manual input. So either you can't get into the hobby because of the limitation of the gear makes it unenjoyable, or you get into it and you grow so quickly that you outgrow the camera or whatever hobby it is. And by then you'll want to upgrade, and if you're serious about it, you're always going to upgrade. There's no avoiding that. So if you buy the second camera, or in this case drone, the Maverick instead of the Spark, it saves me the money of buying twice later on. That's my logic, and in my case it doesn't really matter because when I talked to the staff at DJI, they said that you won't get it till early July because the pre-orders already sold out. In that case, so I'm flying out on the 17th of June to London, and it's just not going to make it. And if I buy the Spark in London, it's going to cost me the same amount as buying the Maverick here in Hong Kong. Things are a lot cheaper in Hong Kong, especially electronics, compared to Australia as well, but compared to London or England, it's just ridiculous how expensive things are. I looked online and it's stupid. It's not a factor anymore. So if I've got two drones, the Spark and the Maverick, costing exactly the same amount, I feel like I'll definitely go for the Maverick. So I guess there's going to be a Maverick in my kit soon. I still got 3 weeks here to decide, but knowing myself, it's going to happen. And I don't know if anything can stop it unless I somehow get a Spark in Hong Kong before then. But no.